What's up, guys? So today we're gonna briefly go over Google Analytics just a little bit, and I'm gonna try and answer some of the questions you guys have been having. But really today, we're just gonna go over some of the basics of Google Analytics. I'm gonna tell you what some of my favorite things are about it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and opened the Google Analytics window here. It's a lot different than it used to be. I'll give it that. They updated it fairly recently, I believe, and I mean I like the update. Uh, at least I like it much more than I liked it in the past. I used to hate the way it looked, and how to navigate, and it was so difficult. It's a bit easier now. So I'm gonna go over what my favorite metrics are to look at today, and I might show you just a little bit more. But perhaps next week or whenever I make this next video, we can go over some of the like behaviors and conversions and acquisitions and some things like that. So the main areas that I'm gonna show you stuff in today is in home, real time, and audience. So before we jump into that though, if you ever need your tracking code again, you got to go to admin, come over here to property, and inside this you'll see tracking info. Click that and click tracking code. Grab this, and in here, this is your tracking code. This right here is pretty much all you need right here, and all you got to do is copy it and paste it in the head of your website. So if you really need to know what that looks like, I can show you over here. Let's just pull up the most recent project we did, URL encoder. Look at the code. You'll see right down in here. Right here is the script, just like that. So that's all you're going to need to start getting some analytics from your website. So let's go back over here to home. So in home, I'll show you my favorite metrics. First of all, I like this kind of like current right now metric for your users. You get to see how many people are currently on your website and what page they're on. Now, if you remember the URL encoder from the series we did, there's only one page, so it's only going to be this index page right here. And as you just saw me, I was just on it, so I just showed up right here. So there's currently only one user on it right now, and you could go into a more in-depth report, but I'm not going to do that here. I'll show you somewhere else. Other than that, up here we have this little overview of your users, your sessions, your bounce rate, and your session duration. So your users, you get to see how many users you have using this over a certain period of time. So versus the previous 7 days, it's been up 8 users, which is good because I mean we just finished this project recently, so I haven't been pushing it or anything, so anything that you see here is just natural from people finding it or, going to my website and clicking on it, or just someone I've told about personally. But you can come down here, you can change this day to be a greater day. So you click this, you can see, oh, well, users 22, up 37.5% versus the previous 28 days. So this is just the chunk of time that is being displayed here. You can see the session duration is 38 seconds, which is down a little bit than it was before that. It's down 42.6%. And then you have a bounce rate here, which is 93.1% at the moment, with only, well, and that's up 2.9% from what it was prior to that. And again, this is a very small website, just a small project that we did that I haven't really even told anyone about, so I'm not expecting any of these numbers to be large. So these right here are nice to have, and I think the position of them is great right here. This is the first thing you see when you go to the analytics page. So if we come down here, this is another great one. This is one of my favorite ones to look at. So we have this section. How do you acquire users? So we have, your traffic channel, your source or medium, and your referrals. So you get to see, how many were direct. So like they typed in the URL. How many were from organic search? So they searched in Google or so they searched you in Google, and they found you in the list of uh, results and clicked on it. How many were referrals? So how many came from another site where they clicked on a link somewhere that took them here? And then you have other. And again, you can change the range of days that this is looking at. But I'm just going to leave it at 7 for now. So if we click over here on source and medium, this is my favorite part of this. We get to see all of these are direct right here. Then we have our Google organic search. And then we have, any local host port 4000 referrals right here is tagged with this color. And then we have exactly our Newton referral. So again, this is a referral. This is a referral. This is organic search, and this is directly typed in. So just like we did up here when we typed in URL encoder and went like that, that is a direct, that would show up in this direct section here. Okay. So other than these, including other, if you click on referrals up here, you'll see where these referrals have been coming from. So we have localhost port 4000, which is what is up when we're developing this and viewing it as a local host. That's just where it's coming from. And then we have the ZacharyRNewton.com, which is my website, and I do have a link to this on my website. Actually, if we go over here, I'll show you. So scroll down, and recent projects right here, URL encoder. So there we go. We got that link right there. And that's the other thing that I like looking at in this how do you acquire users section. It's pretty self-explanatory here. I mean, if you're wondering how you can use this information, it's great to just figure out, literally where you're getting users from. So what's the best, what is doing the best for you as far as if you're doing any marketing or just anything like that, really. What are you doing that's giving you the most amount of views and users on your website? That's really what this section is for. So if you're paying for someone to do advertising, you can see, is it coming from that person? No. Cut it out. You don't need to do it then, because you're not getting anything from it. If you've got links on your social media that you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and you see that you've got like a lot of users coming from that referral, coming from Instagram.com/your profile or whatever like that, then hey, that's working. We should continue to do that. We should continue to push it on our Instagram, because Instagram's giving us a lot of users on our website. So that's why I would use this section here. I do find it fairly useful. If we scroll down here, now we have two other sections, and this is going to be I'll go over the other ones a little bit. What pages do your users visit? So we have the pages here, and we have, the /, so that's just the index page. And again, on this, we only have the one page. How many page views does it have, and what's its page value? We're not selling anything, so it's not really going to have a value. How are your active users trending over time? Again, you can change these over what range it's looking at. So, you've got like 25 monthly users, 8 weekly users, and 0 daily users. So you can just see how it's fluctuating a little bit. But I want to come back over to this section here. What pages do your users visit? So let's go over to a different website. I'll just click on mine for now real quick, just so we can quickly view this. So if we click here, we can see, okay, over the past 7 days, what pages did people visit? Well, 13 visited my homepage for the blog, 3 of the case studies, and one visited each of these three blogs. Now, there's a lot more pages on the site than there are shown right here, but these are the only ones that were, you know, viewed by a user. So if we come down here and change this to something like 28 days, then we'll see there's more pages. Let's go to 90 days even. Here's even more pages. So, you know, 404 page, another blog post, or not another blog post, but we have case studies in here now. No, there's one more blog post actually. So these are all the ones that have been viewed in that span of time. So let's go back over here to the URL Dencoder. And sorry, my voice keeps cracking. It's a little early in the morning and my mouth's kind of dry. Okay. So, my absolute favorite place to go to look at these metrics is this one right here, real time. I think it's awesome, and a little overview for real time. I think it's awesome because you literally get to see how many people you have active on your site right now, and that's just awesome. And yeah, they do have it over here on the homepage. There's a quick little part right here, which is neat, and I'm glad it's there because this over here is my favorite place to be. So in here you can see how many page views you're getting per minute, per second, and if you have a website with higher traffic, this will be really nice to see how frequently people are actually clicking on it. If we come down here, we'll see our top referrals. You saw me just go to my personal website and click on the URL Dencoder. So the top referral right now is my website with the one, which is me. We have someone on the index page right now. We have one active user, which is 100% of our one active users on the site. And again, they're on the index page. You can scroll down and you can see their location. So as you can see, it's in the US, and then it looks like it's in Florida. We're in Florida. There we go. So that's neat, and that's really what I use over here in this real-time section. And if you want to figure out where the majority of people are viewing your site from, at least that's currently on here, I should say, you come over here to locations and you can see what countries they're from. So obviously I'm in the US, so I'm in the United States over here. You do still have this metric. Let's refresh this or something. Refresh this, see if I come back. Maybe I actually have to look it up. Refresh. There we go. And I'm back. Okay, so you can see I'm in the US. You click on that, and then you can see, what city, what location they're from, or currently in. Traffic sources. This is similar to what I showed you on the homepage, where you can see where your referrals were, and everything like that. So again, you can see what was the medium. None. It was a direct source, and it's for the one user that's there. So this is just another way to view some of that information. And then you have content, and content is going to show you, what your active pages are that are being viewed by users, and what that page title is. And again, here you can look at this. See, this title right here is this title right here. All right, so other than that, in real time, I'm not going to go over events and conversions today, but let's go over to audience. So this is the last place that we're really going to go to today. Let's click on overview, and we can see some metrics for, all of time pretty much. So we can see our sessions right here. We've got 10 sessions, 8 users, 10 page views. But this is what I really like about this section here. You get to see your returning visitors as a percentage and your new visitors as a percentage right here. So I know that 70% of the users that are showing up in these metrics are all new, and 30 are returning. So you can see if you're just getting repeat customers, or if you're actually getting new customers, or users, I should say. Unless you've got a store, then they may be your customers. So if we come down here, we can see some of the demographics. So we can see what languages. Well, 80% of those are the language English US, and whatever language C is, their language C. You can click on country, see what country they're all from. So we have United States, India, Kenya, Malaysia, and Poland. Those are where all of these users are viewing the website from. We can see, what cities. So we have Margate, Bangalore. Uh, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the rest of these. I think that's Nairobi. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's cool. You can see, where they're at, where people are viewing your site from. So, uh, if you're hitting your target audience, really. We can see what browsing system they were using. So Chrome, Mozilla, Safari, majority of it's Chrome. So you really know that you really need to support Chrome right here. If we go to operating system, this one's pretty cool. You can see what they're viewing it on. 70% of these actually was on a Macintosh. 1% or 10% was on Windows, and this is not set. We just don't know what this is right now. Service provider. Again, this is also neat. You can see how your users are viewing your stuff. So we have AT&T Internet Services, and then a bunch of others that you can see right here. I don't really know what all these are, but you have the names of them here, so you can click on it and you can go over and look it up somewhere, and you can see what the deal is with those. So another neat one is for mobile, you can see what operating system they're on. So it's going to show, well, I don't have any mobile users at the moment for it. Let me go to it on my phone and just see if it pops up. Let's come down here. Search. Okay, it's searched. So now let's refresh it just one more time. And scroll to the bottom. Come on. Give me something. No. Maybe let's click on full report. No, okay. It hasn't come through yet. Anyways, down here, again, you'll be able to look at the operating system. It's pretty self-explanatory. Their service provider, whether it's, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, any company like that. And you can also see their screen resolution. So you know, like, what size device they've been viewing it on. So that's pretty neat as well. So the next thing we have is active users. So we can see how many users we have compared to these different sections or ranges. So for 1 day active users, we don't really have any, but over 7 day period, we can have about 8. Over 14 days, we have about 12. And over 30, we have about 25. So that's a neat way, and you can turn these on here and just see. Just take a look at that right there. Let's go to demographics overview. Demographics and interest reports. So we can enable this. I haven't done that yet, but you can see, not on every user, but you can generally see, the age, the gender, the interests of the categories, of just whatever your users are interested in. So if you've got a high user count and a lot of them want a certain thing or are just interested in a certain thing, you know that if you probably release something in their interest, you'll have better engagement, and they'll probably end up sharing something from your site and have other people clicking on your website and viewing it and taking a look at it and just getting more users. Honestly, let's go ahead and enable this and see what happens. Congratulations, you've successfully enabled demographic reports. While you can access them now, it can take up to 24 hours before there is data available in these reports. So it can take up some time to be able to actually see any of these reports. Okay, so that's mainly what I wanted to show you today. I'm not going to go over anything else. just because it's kind of out of the scope of this video. Just wanted to briefly go over some of this stuff and, get our feet wet with Google Analytics a little bit. I don't want to make this video an hour long like some of the development videos are. That's just insanity. But again, if we go over to home, you can see a lot of these metrics that are important. You can see here. So I mean, it's nice to see your current users that are currently using your website or whatever you've got, and seeing how many sessions you got going. And this is a good one, your session duration, so you know how long people are spending on your site. And again, you can see this one I think is probably actually the most important, even though it's not really my favorite. It's one of my favorites, but being able to see referrals means you can see what's working for you. If you are advertising anything, you'll know, okay, this advertisement's working really well. It's killing it. It's bringing in the majority of our users. Well, we need to just put more money into it. We need to, or whatever you're doing, we need to just work on it more. We need to advertise better. We need to put more time into it. And you can see if something's not working well. Again, maybe your Facebook page isn't working well. Well, just don't put time into it if it's not working well, especially if you have something that's working well. So this section right here is probably one of the best ones, so you can figure out how to get more traffic going to your website. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. That's all I'm going to talk about today. Next week, I will talk a little bit about stuff that I didn't talk about today. But if you have any questions regarding Google Analytics, especially any specific questions, make sure you leave them down below so that I can answer them in a future video. If this video helped you at all, make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you really like the content that I'm creating on this channel, go on over to my Patreon account at patreon.com/Zachary R. Newton, where you can help support this channel and help me create better videos every week. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.